Today we're going to talk about the hamstrings. The hamstrings are made up of four muscles. The semimembranosus on the medial side, which is responsible for hip extension, as well as knee flexion, and then also medial rotation of the knee. You'll see a slight turn in of the foot. Next is the semitendinosus, which is responsible for hip extension and knee flexion. Then on the lateral side, we have the biceps femoris long head, which is responsible for hip extension, knee flexion, as well as lateral rotation of the knee. You'll see a slight turn out of the foot at the top. The last muscle is the biceps femoris short head, which is here. It is responsible for knee flexion, it also aids the long head in knee lateral rotation. The hamstrings are able to do both hip extension and knee flexion at the same time. However, they are better at hip extension when the knee is straight and better at knee flexion when the knee is bent. So exercises like the hamstring curl are paramount to proper training of the hamstring. The hamstrings, when training, are separated into two separate regions. The upper, which is more responsible for hip extension, and the lower, which is more responsible for knee flexion. And these two appear to respond differently to the same exercises, so proper programming is paramount to performance. Hamstring injuries are common in sports, around 12 to 16% of injuries, which tells us that hamstring training has a role in all sports. Also, a mountain of research over the last 2 decades has shown that knee flexor strength reduces incidence of ACL injuries, another common injury in team sports. So starting with the knee extensors. Knee flexors, idiot. Right, the muscles down near the knee. When it comes to training the hamstrings, there's no way to isolate any one of the 4 hamstrings. However, we can use foot positions to change the emphasis that is put on the hamstring. In a hamstring curl, the bicep femoris long head and short head will always try to take over. Now we can exacerbate that by turning the feet out, where we'll hit even more of the long and short head of the biceps femoris. However, if our goal is to grow more medial heads, semimembranosus and semitendinosus, the ones here, we can turn our toes in. Now if she curls like that, curl, we're getting a lot more medial head. Okay, now why is it important to do hamstring curls? As I discussed earlier, most hamstring injuries come from the biceps short head, biceps femoris short head, and biceps femoris long head. So it would behoove you to do quite a bit of training in the neutral positions as well as the toes out position in athletes. When it comes to knee flexors, I believe, much like my mentor Charles Poliquin, that you should treat them as fast twitch. So how do we get more time under tension if we're only working in a no more than 6 to 8 rep range? We add eccentrics. So do a curl, Jenny, to your butt. And now take 10 seconds down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, a little faster, 9, and 10. Now, if we did 6 reps like that, it's only 6 reps, yet we have well over a minute worth of time and tension. Okay, moving on to the other role of the hamstrings, which is hip extension. Okay. The way to target, so any heavy hinge will put most of the emphasis on the medial muscles of the hamstrings, so the semimembranosus and semitendinosus. Right, so as in a straight leg deadlift, which research has shown does a great job of activating the semimembranosus and semitendinosus. Go ahead, Jim. She's gonna keep her back flat, stand up, above her knees, she's gonna squeeze her ass really hard. Do one more. Good. So that's how we target in any deadlift, no matter the variation of foot. Research shows that you still put most of the emphasis in semimembranosus and semitendinosus. So how do we put more emphasis on the biceps femoris long head, right? Back extensions of any sort have been shown to target more of the biceps femoris long head. However, what also we can do is have Jenny turn her toes just out a touch, just like on the leg curl. Now when she does a back extension, when she squeezes, most of the emphasis will go on to the biceps femoris long head, the outside portion of the leg. Now, as a bonus, this is a trick I got from Charles. If Jenny goes down and grabs this bar, most people will grab it pronated. What Jenny's gonna do is she's gonna grab it wide and supinated, so palms up. Yep, it's gonna come up, squeeze. By doing this, when you go into the stretch portion of the back extension, so go down, you stretch more of the fascia. So we're increasing our mobility while lifting weights, which is always a positive. Thanks for watching.